Have you ever looked in the mirror and immediately zeroed in on the things you wish you could change? That little voice inside that whispers, not enough. You're not alone.
Welcome to another episode of She Rises. I'm Chantel, and with me as always is...
Linda. And today we're diving deep into something that affects nearly every woman I know, body image and self-esteem.
Before we started recording, I was telling Linda about this photo I saw on my timeline yesterday. This woman I went to college with posted a beach vacation picture, and my first thought wasn't, wow, she looks happy, or that beach looks amazing. It was,
Let me guess, something about her body?
exactly. I immediately thought, she's so confident to post that. As if her body needed confidence to exist in public. And then I caught myself. Why was my first instinct to evaluate her body rather than her experience?
That's exactly why this conversation is so important. Our relationship with our bodies affects everything. How we show up in relationships, at work, even how we parent. Today we're unpacking the journey from body criticism to body peace.
And we've got quite the journey ahead, friends. So settle in with your coffee, your tea, or whatever fuels your morning.
I want to start with something personal. Last year I was getting ready for my cousin's wedding. I had this beautiful dress I'd been saving for a special occasion, and when I finally put it on,
It didn't fit anymore?
worse, it fit differently. And I spent the next hour in what I now call a mirror spiral, picking apart every curve, every fold. I almost didn't go to the wedding.
What happened?
My daughter walked in. She's 7. She said, "Mommy, you look like a princess." And in that moment, I had this crystal clear thought. What am I teaching her when she sees me hating what she thinks is beautiful?
That hits hard. We're literally modeling how the next generation of women will think about their bodies.
Exactly. Which brings me to our first question for listeners. When did you first learn that your body needed to be fixed? Was it a comment from someone? A magazine? Social media? Because understanding the root helps us unlearn it.
For me, it was 7th grade. My dance teacher told me I needed to slim down for our recital costumes. I was 11 years old.
That's heartbreaking and so common. Research from the Children's Hospital of Boston found that about 80% of 10-year-old girls have been on a diet. 10 years old.
Let's talk about the comparison monster. In today's digital world, we're constantly bombarded with curated, filtered, and often manipulated images of perfection.
And here's what's wild. We know those images aren't real, yet we still compare ourselves to them. Dr. Rachel Goldman, a psychologist specializing in body image, calls this cognitive dissonance. We intellectually understand something, but emotionally react differently.
I have this theory that social media has created a new version of body image issues. It's not just about wanting to be thinner anymore. It's about wanting the perfect skin, perfect hair, perfect home, perfect life.
The expanded perfectionism.
Yes, and it's exhausting. I found myself in this cycle last summer. Remember when I was posting less?
I do. You just kind of disappeared for a while.
I was in a deep comparison hole. I'd spend hours scrolling through fitness influencers, convinced that if I just found the right workout, the right diet, the right skincare routine, I'd finally feel good enough.
And did you find it?
No, what I found instead was that the more I looked for external solutions, the worse I felt. The turning point came when I started therapy and learned about something called body neutrality.
Can you explain that for our listeners?
Instead of forcing yourself to love every part of your body, which feels impossible some days, body neutrality focuses on what your body does for you, not how it looks. My body lets me hug my nieces. It lets me dance in my kitchen. It gets me through long work days.
That brings us perfectly to our next section, the mindset shift. Remember that question I asked earlier about when you first learned your body needed fixing? Here's the empowering flip side. You can unlearn it too.
Absolutely. And this is where I want to talk about something revolutionary that changed my perspective. We often think confidence comes after achievement. I'll feel confident when I lose weight, or I'll feel good about myself when my skin clears up.
The I'll be happy when syndrome.
Precisely. But research from psychologist Dr. Kelly McGonigal shows that it actually works in reverse. Confidence isn't the result of achievement. It's often the prerequisite.
That's fascinating. So how do we build that confidence first?
Through small acts of courage. Every time you honor your boundaries, speak your truth, or show up authentically despite fear, you're building confidence muscle. It's like compound interest for your self esteem.
I love that image. And it reminds me of something that happened at work last month. There was this big presentation, and typically I would have spent hours obsessing over how I looked instead of what I was saying.
What did you do differently?
I prepared thoroughly for the content and gave myself a simple affirmation. My value is in my mind and not my appearance. I still did my hair and makeup, but it wasn't the focus. And guess what? It was my most successful presentation to date.
That brings up our second big question for listeners. What would be possible for you if you redirected all the energy you spend worrying about your appearance toward your passions, your purpose, your joy?
Now, we know this journey isn't easy, so let's get practical. What are some tools that have helped you, Chantel?
First, I did a major social media cleanse. I unfollowed accounts that made me feel inadequate and filled my feed with diversity, different body types, ages, abilities, skills.
I've done similar. I also started a body gratitude practice. Each morning, instead of criticizing what I see in the mirror, I thank my body for something specific. Thank you, legs, for carrying me through that difficult day.
That's beautiful. Another powerful tool is language. I've completely banned certain phrases from my vocabulary. I feel fat. I hate my arms. I look horrible.
Language shapes our reality. Even saying, I'm having negative thoughts about my body, instead of I'm so fat, creates a little separation that can be healing.
Exactly. And finally, movement that feels good. Not punishment, not burning off food, just joyful movement that connects me with the miracle that is my body.
As we wrap up, I want to circle back to that question Chantel posed. What would be possible if you redirected your appearance focused energy?
For me, the answer was this podcast. All those hours I spent obsessing over nutrition labels and comparing myself to Instagram models, I now pour into creating content that uplifts women.
And that's the ultimate truth about body image and self esteem. It's not really about how you look at all, it's about reclaiming your energy, your time, your mind space for what truly matters to you.
If you're listening and struggling with these same issues, please know you're not alone. This is a journey we're all on together.
We'd love to hear your stories. What was your turning point? What tools have helped you? Share in the comments below.
Next week on She Rises, we'll be exploring financial independence and the emotional blocks that keep women from building wealth.
Until then, remember, you are so much more than a body. You're a force, a light, a powerful presence in this world.
And you deserve to rise. This is Chantel.
And Linda, signing off.